that struck me, and particularly on the answers on Cuba and digging himself a deeper hole, is that Bernie Sanders is just this bulldozer who he's
like a fortress.
Like fortress. Mount Bernie. Just you keep going at him, and you can ask him, and he will never change his position. Keep coming at me because those are good. Those are good. You just.
I've been there. You're on stage, and he has a force field, and everything you say to him, it's like, let me be clear. I'm going to talk about what I'm going to talk about. It's going to have some relationship.
But that was what was supposed to
ask me.
But it is not really going to be what you'd asked me about, and it's going to now go into a Bernieism. And then afterwards, you're like, okay, what just happened?
No. But that was
no way to get him off of it. So when it's a question about Cuba,
right,
he will continue to give that answer that he gave to you. That he'll give it again tonight, and then he'll dig himself a deeper hole. And he did it in our town hall.
But it is interesting that people are focusing on what he said about Castro in the 1980s. Michael Bloomberg, a couple of weeks ago, said that the dictator of China is not a dictator.
Right, exactly.
And nobody seems to have
Bernie picked up on that.
Yeah,
but look, Jess is right that the Republicans and Donald Trump are going to make this same case against any Democratic candidate. But it's easier to make when that Democratic candidate embraces the title of socialist and doesn't refute it. And the truth of the matter is, Bernie Sanders is not a socialist. I mean, if you look it up in the dictionary, he's not calling for, society to own the means of production and all of that stuff. And why he is so reluctant to make that point, and why he is like a fortress, Andrew, but not on that question tonight.
No,
on that question tonight, he looked unmoored. And while it shouldn't necessarily be the most important question, they will make it the most important question until he makes it a less important question by straightening the whole thing out. The flip side of that is he's also a guy who deeply believes in things. He speaks aspirationally. His close tonight reflected that when he talked about what he thinks America should be and the goals we should set ourselves to that speak to the lives of everyday people. And anyone who underestimates the power of that is missing something.
That's the joke, okay? This time he just made a bunch of corny jokes. So I think that had he blown himself up... Progress. Had he blown himself up as badly this week?
Bloomberg's argument is essentially the opposite. It's like, I've got infinite bankroll to fund ads in Super Tuesday and throughout the entire primaries and against Donald Trump. Whatever the Republicans marshal as resources, I can outspend. The big missing piece to me is why Bloomberg would not just take all of these resources and put them towards a candidate that he believed in. It reminds me of like a movie director who casts himself. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't find anyone who's going to be better in this role than me. And I looked in the mirror and I said, so that's like a very big question in my mind. But the argument he has is going to stick with us this entire primary season as long as he stays in the race. I thought today was a much better debate for Mike. And I actually have to say the improvement from less than a week ago to today was significant. Like, he went from being, looking like he didn't belong to at least seeming like he fit in.
I think we're talking about Matt.
Mr. Sanders.
Let's talk about it.
Can I say something?
Look, first of all,
Bernie, let me go.
Tom, I think she was talking about my plan, not yours.
I think we were talking about math, and it doesn't take 2 hours to do the math. Because let's talk about what it adds up to. Let's talk about math indeed. Okay, so here's the math. No, here's the math.
Excuse me, can I respond to the
Doing nothing is what will happen.
Senator Sanders, you're allowed a quick response, and then we would like to allow the other
moderator, guys.
Senator Sanders.
Moderator. Is it my turn?